Let's get started!
A talent like his would be squandered were he cast as a hero. We'll provide him with a grander stage where he can truly shine.
Hey Deadline.
What is it? Clever, comrade.
I'm gonna make another character analysis / rant video today.
Huh. Who will it be about this time?
It's gonna be about the greatest villain of MHA. I mean the second best villain of MHA. I mean the third one. I'm gonna be talking about Marble, the Marble Man.
The man in the hat.
Right, you are Deadline. The man in the hat. Alright. It's Marbing time. Okay, here we go. The incredibly honest analysis / rant video for nobody's favorite trenchcoat magician. Marble. Also known as Mr. Marble. So just like the previous incredibly honest analysis video that featured fellow Reptile, this one will also be split into two parts, with the first part being the general analysis part, and the second half being about Marble's character as a whole, but mostly just about my overall opinions on him. Now without further ado, let's begin the so-called incredibly honest analysis. This is Marble, Atsuhiro Sako, the League of Losers' resident magician, whose outfit consists of a bright orange trench coat, white fancy boots, a top hat, and an ever-changing mask without holes for his eyes. No, seriously, none of his many masks have any eye holes on them for some reason. Yet he can still see normally. It seems that the masks just do not impair his vision at all. But then again, he's a magician. He just probably uses magic to see through them. Maybe. I dunno. Okay, that's enough magician jokes. Let's move on to analyzing Marble's quirk. His quirk is named Compress. It gives Marble the ability to shrink objects and people down into small blue marbles. He can also turn them back into normal. Now at first glance it just looks like a simple quirk. But just look closer and you'll notice that it actually has quite the number of intricacies, unusual traits, and special attributes that easily make it one of the most complicated, versatile, and overpowered quirks in MHA. Allow me to point out a couple. First, it has multiple targeting modes. The Compress quirk can either shrink down an entire object, pick off chunks of an object, or compress an entire small area around the target. Marble can also turn himself into a marble. Furthermore, the act of compression itself is super fast and can't be slowed down. It easily goes through everything and is completely unaffected by most defensive quirks. Second, the weight of the marbles are completely unaffected by their contents. A marble containing a huge concrete block will weigh exactly the same as a marble containing just a single feather. Third, the marbled objects are frozen in time and are completely unaffected by external factors, whether they contain people or not. You can shake them, roll them, toss them. Hell, Marble can eat them and poop them out and basically nothing will happen to them. Also, basing off of the fact that the marbles somehow never get any scratches despite just looking like glass spheres, it appears they are also quite physically durable. Fourth, the marbles have no range limit. Their contents will not be freed no matter how far Marble is away from them. Fifth, Marble can decompress marbled objects into whatever orientation and position he wants them to be. This is especially obvious during the second movie, where he deployed roadblocks that perfectly blocked the road. It's also somewhat apparent when he decompressed both these two kids in very different postures than what he got them with. Sixth, the marbles can be further compressed. As seen back then when Marble compressed himself down even though he still has marbles in his mouth. So basically the compress quirk allows for theoretical infinite storage. And finally, outside of erasure, the only way a marbled object can be freed is when Marble himself decides to free them. Okay, so that's basically how the compression quirk works. For short, Marble is technically just a Pokemon trainer armed with unlimited special Pokeballs that can only be used at short range, but with an added ability to catch anything from inanimate objects to people. And just like your usual Pokemon trainer, Marble can also unleash whatever's stored in his balls to fight things.
Surrender! We all want to get this over with quickly. Why the aggression?
Anyways, going back to the compress quirk. So yeah, it's an incredibly overpowered quirk. Not only it's so easy to use, loaded with additional abilities, and incredibly versatile, but it also has no real cooldown, and no overused drawbacks. In fact, it doesn't even have limits on what it can compress or not. Furthermore, it's a guaranteed one shot if ever he can get close to his targets, no matter how powerful his targets are. And once trapped, there's no going back out, unless in very specific circumstances. Hell, even Big Boy won't even stand a chance against Marble, as he can just rapid fire his compression abilities on him and pick him apart piece by piece. Also, the lightweight and portable attributes of the compression marbles further adds up to the already impressive capabilities of the quirk. It allows Marble to easily steal things, transport stuff, preserve objects, kidnap people, and many more. Compress is easily one of the best quirks in the manga, in all of offense, defense, and utility. But as much as how good the compress quirk is, there are still some things that don't make sense about it. One of those things is its range. Compress's range is just pretty much inconsistent. Sometimes it's touch activated. Sometimes it's short ranged.
And so are you!
Sometimes it's long ranged. Sometimes the marbles even seemingly levitate to him. So yeah, as you can see, aside from Marble needing to aim his hands first, nothing about Compress's range is consistent. And second, about how it killed off Sandman. According to the wiki, Sandman is killed because the flames got compressed into the marble and somehow burned him inside. But aren't the contents of the marble just frozen in time? Wouldn't that mean Sandman is just frozen in the marble, still just casually posing badassily against the flames? So how did he die? I dunno. The full mechanics of the compress quirk is really just wonky at best despite its overall power. And now with the quirk analysis done, let's move on to analyzing Marble's overall skill level. Let's see how good he is at doing stuff. At first you'd think that Marble's pretty skilled as a villain, like when he casually used his quirk to block cars, toss boulders, and kidnap people. But look closer, you'll quickly notice that he's not really that skilled at all. Most of what he does is just tossing marbles, and then decompressing them once they reach his target, and that's pretty much it. He just flicks his shit around, and then shit happens. Even the entire kidnapping thing isn't really real skill because the compress quirk literally just one-shots anything with no chance of retaliation. For short, he's not really that skilled as a villain. But that's okay, since his quirk's just too damn overpowered anyways, and it alone more than makes up for his lack of skill. But if there are things Marble's good at, and that are collecting boulders, and doing magic tricks with his balls.
Yeah, now we're talking! Yeah! Ow!
Shh. Okay, now that the skill segment is done, let's move on towards the last segment of the first part of the analysis. Character background and personality. So a little story first. Back then during the fellow reptile analysis video, I said something about Mr. Lizardman being the most blandest League of Losers member, as well as the one who got the least amount of focus. I was wrong on that. As I was making this video, I realized that Marble is even blander than him in basically every way. At least fellow reptile can drive, is into video games, an alleyway fan, a handyman simp, and then there's his thing with mutant discrimination. Marble basically has nothing going for him, aside from being a magician. And that's it. Worst part here is that Marble didn't even get any focus until the moment he's about to be defeated. And even then that little highlight moment is filled with absurd amounts of f***ing bullshit. It's hard to take it seriously. Suddenly, out of absolutely f***ing nowhere, Marble is suddenly the descendant of some supposedly super legendary and super legit Robin Hood idiot that apparently existed ages ago, and now he wants to follow his footsteps to become yet another Robin Hood knockoff. This is just simple straight up grade A made up on the spot bullshit, considering not once Marble even acted like Robin Hood in the first place. Not to mention he's literally part of a group that wants to f***ing destroy everything. And to add to the already staggering amounts of bullshit, not only he can't even steal from a f***ing convenience store and would rather starve instead, but the only time he stole something is back then during the CRC raid. So yeah, he can only steal from other poor people. As you can see, this entire Robin Hood thing is just pure, unfiltered, straight out of the farm bullshit, with extra nitrogen. It's almost as if he just pulled it out of thin air like the f***ing magician that he is. Either way, it only made me really wonder why the f*** is Marble even with the League of Losers in the first place.
clever, comrade. Little person is asking, where is Blue Woman?
Oh, about that deadline she called in this morning. Said something about attending a wedding ceremony or whatever.
Little person, Blue Woman will not be with us today.
Oh great, now he's teleported to where she is. Quick deadline, go call Miss Mindlayer and tell her the little person just teleported somewhere near her. I got a video to finish. Okay. Now we move on to the second part of the Marble Incredibly Honest Analysis / rant video. On this second half I'm gonna be talking about my overall opinions on Marble as a whole. And just like back then during the fellow reptile analysis, there will be no sugarcoating here in this segment. Everything will be incredibly honest. Okay, let's begin. Marble Man is a strange one. For such an unimportant League of Losers member with even less focus than their resident lizard man, Marble just stands out no matter what. First there's his whole magician shtick, which sticks out in his small group of mentally ill idiots. Second, he's the only one in the 6 of them without a pity party sob story. And third, once again compared to the League of Losers, Marble is the only one who's not a representation of the byproducts of the flaws of society. He's just a normal villain magician. And no, I will not count his suddenly out of the blue Robin Hood bullshit in this, because it's f***ing bullshit. Moving on. Marble just consistently gets the job done, which is even more odd for a background villain like him. In fact, whenever he acts, it's pretty much almost always guaranteed he'll accomplish something. What's even more amazing is that he accomplishes things without even needing plot armor, ass pulls, deus ex machinas, nor any bad writing bullshit. Literally all his achievements are within the realms of his capabilities. He simply doesn't cheat, nor he ever needed to. Very much unlike Handyman, Libera and Sunbert, who are 3 massive brain-dead dumbass f***ing losers whose entire lives are entirely dependent on plot armor just to f***ing stay relevant. Especially Handyman. So yeah. Despite lacking a real personality, and not really important, Marble is somehow better than all of the League combined. Even though he's not even skilled in combat at all, his incredibly overpowered quirk is more than enough to carry him through situations.
Damn it!
But ironically, this incredible power is also his biggest downfall. You'd think this is because the heroes eventually knew to take him down first. No. In fact, Marble is never once regarded as an actual threat despite his overpowered quirk. The heroes would rather just talk about how dangerous Handyman is, despite Handyman being the single most biggest f***ing pathetic dumbass worthless loser clown in all of anime history, who's so unbelievably brain-dead stupid he makes maggots look like f***ing Einsteins. Anyways, the true reason on why being overpowered is Marble's biggest downfall is MHA's weird and unusual habit of removing powerful villains, or just severely limiting what they can do. Marble is a clear victim of this, but much worse. Not only he's eventually removed, but even on his way the creator just kept on figuratively butchering his character. Allow me to point out some Marble moments that would really make you wonder if the creator just absolutely hates him for being overpowered. First, he lost his super jump ability. It's only seen once, and then immediately gone. Second, he lost his ability to turn himself into a marble and then remove unwanted objects on his way out. This ability suddenly disappearing made his War Arc escape scene really awkward.
Goodbye, costume! He got away.
Third, he's the only one in the League of Losers who didn't get his own MVA boss battle. Fourth, Sandman's death is attributed to this idiot even though Marble technically killed him. Fifth, Rated R somehow just lived long enough so that this irrelevant idiot can get to her, effectively transferring Marble's supposed achievement to him. Sixth, the creator didn't even bother to give Marble a semblance of a backstory until it's time for him to be defeated, and even then his backstory is absolutely bullshit. And seventh, the final and the biggest one, notice how Marble suddenly turned into a massive coward right after the Sandsman arc. He suddenly can't rob things anymore, and is suddenly proud he's a massive coward.
何もしてなかっただろう。
はは、抜かせ。ちゃんと逃げ回ってた。
And even in the war arc he's just hiding around and only attacking those who attack him, instead of just bombarding the heroes with boulders. This all directly contrasts with his earlier self, who's basically a certified badass who has absolutely no problem f***ing around against people more powerful than him. So yeah, Marble got ruined. Based off of the patterns I can get from the manga, it appears Marble getting ruined is all deliberate on the creator's part to not have him outshine the main villain trio, Handaman, Libera and Sunbird. This explains why all of Marble's accomplishments are noticeably just minor things despite his extremely overpowered quirk. And why Deadline became a massive clown in the finale, and why Grillby barely did anything after being freed, and why extremely weak and useless villains like Fellow Reptile, Death Note, and the remainders of the PLF are allowed to continue without their respective characters being ruined by the creator. Yeah, ruining powerful villains is an extremely bullshit way of pushing out your intended main bad guys to the center stage, but it is what it is. That's MHA for you. If you're a powerful villain with the potential to outshine the main bad guys, then you're going to get ruined. Now before we end, I'd like to talk about Marble's unusual insane durability for a bit. This guy's toughness is insane, it's almost legendary. The guy can fall down a considerable height piled down by 3 teenagers and he can walk it off like nothing happened. His face can literally face tank a concrete breaking laser and not be worse for wear. He can launch himself and hit someone hard enough to knock them out, and then fall down a considerable height again and once more receive no injury. He's so tough that not only he didn't even feel a bullet hitting him, but Sandman's one-hit kill quirk can only cut off his arm. He got pummeled during MVA and the only things he got from that are light scratches. Hell, he's even completely fireproof. Marble's just so unbelievably tough, the only thing that can beat him is himself.
He got away.
The question now is, why is Marble so tough? Well, it appears being tough is just a part of the Marble bloodline. Notice how his Robin Hood wannabe ancestor is just casually running away while being shot at by pistols, has no problem breaking through glass, and jumping out of a skyscraper without a parachute. They're just that tough.
That tickled. Ah! Ah!
Okay, I'm done. Hey Deadline, did you manage to contact Miss Mindlayer?
Yup. I managed to do it just in time.
Oh, that's great. I'm ending the video now.
Clever comrade. Do you think Blue Woman is the one getting teached?
I dunno. Probably just her friends or family.
Clever comrade. I think.
Where the hell is the off button for the new camera again? Never mind, I found it.